community. That's the way it's supposed to be. Excellence and perfection is our choice. The Spirit guides our destiny as we let our minds be free. Open up your heart and lift our voice. You are your only limitations. Yeah, break free, do what you can do. It takes a little work, it takes dedication. Don't ever stop, nothing's holding you. The past was meant to make us stronger. Morning joys will last much longer. Persevere, keep moving, just hang on in there. Keep reaching out for one another. Yes, be there to lift your brother. Pressing forward, showing that you care. Oh, you are your only limitation. Yeah, and you are. Break free, do what you can do. It takes a little work, it takes dedication. Don't ever stop, nothing's holding you.
Hi, this is Sherita J back with you for Power Lunch with Sherita J here in Los Angeles at RMC Media. I've got a few guests today that I'm very excited about. I know all three of them personally. These are three gentlemen that are doing some amazing things across the country, not only themselves personally and what they do in business, but they're putting on some outrageous business conferences. And if you have not attended either one of these conferences or all of them, you are truly missing out. I'm talking to those individuals that are sitting at home thinking about that they want to start a business, those entrepreneurs that have started a business and just need to go to the next level, small businesses that are thinking about how can they expand not only locally but globally, and then those large corporations that still need to be collaborating and working with those other individuals across the country. I'm talking about Bernie Dorman, who is the founder of CEO Space, George Frazier with FrazierNet and the Power Network, and then Aubrey Stone, who is the president and founder of the California Black Chamber Foundation. These three gentlemen are some powerful, powerful folks, and I'm just glad to have them on. Again, this is Sherita J, and Bernie is already on the line. Bernie, are you there?
Well, you've got my friends on with you. I can't wait to talk to George and his great work.
Good.
And yes, we're here. And to all our CEO Space fans, welcome aboard. And
Good.
What a great year this is turning out to be for everybody.
Yes, it is. You know, the last forum just a few weeks ago, Bernie, that was a really, really amazing forum. When I came home, I was telling a lot of the grads how much they had missed out. And so let's talk about CEO Space and how long it's been in existence, first of all.
Well, CEO Space is over 25 years old, and it's basically an institution to help accelerate the growth of any business, to help you get customers, to help you get alliances and channel markets and capital, and the best advisors and mentors and coaches where you don't have to pay for them individually because you got a lifetime membership and can use them over your whole lifetime. And that is really a game changer for a lot of small businesses.
Yes, it is. Well, you know, I have been a member of CEO Space since 1999. I'm the class of 299. And it just, from the moment I went there, it changed my life. You know, I got to tell this story. Bob Circosta, who is also one of the master facilitators there, he was my partner. And we were doing this transformational exercise. And at first I couldn't even think because I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, my God, I'm across from Bob Circosta. And I'm pouring out, you know, why I'm angry at my ex-husband and all this, and I'm crying. and I thought, this is absolutely mad that a conference like this can have you sitting knee to knee, not just across the table, but we were sitting knee to knee doing an exercise. And that's the power of CEO Space. Bernie, who are some of the other powerhouses that have come across your stage there at CEO Space?
Well, all of them. I mean, you just can't name anybody you know. I mean, the people that are in our orbit, and our dear friends are all the stars of The Secret. You know, Bob Proctor, Jack Canfield, Lisa Nichols, your buddy Les Brown, the top trainers in the world, from John Astronaut to Ron Zeller of Landmark Forum, the Tony Robbins, John Gray of Men Are From Mars, Sharon Lecter, who just gave us her new book, Think and Grow Rich for Women. It's going to be the bestseller in June. Everybody get ready for pre-orders on Amazon. Think and Grow Rich for Women by Sharon Lecter, author of Rich Dad Poor Dad. She just gave me the first book on stage 3 weeks ago. But the credibility of the people that come to CO Space that Forbes magazine says is the meeting you can't afford to miss. We just help people. I mean, we've helped more brands, more success stories than just about any place in the country.
Yes, yes. And, speaking of the books, I mean, even our book that I did in collaboration with many of the CEO Space grads, our book went number one. To my knowledge, CEO Space has produced, like you said about the authors, the most authors than any other business forum. Is that correct?
Well, we have. We've broken the Guinness Book of Records 6 times, and the only ones we could break in the author space is ours. We're just not, we don't advertise or market. You have to come to our club meetings in Pasadena or L.A. or Long Beach or Orange County or San Diego, and we give them, they're free, and it's free networking. And so every week you can meet up and get CO Space, come to networking free. Right. And I would do that and just start using the free part of our services. And then as you get to know us, if you go on our website, cospace.net, there's 100 videos. And all those famous folks I named have videos online.
Right,
and
right.
You just look and see what you're looking for and how you want to grow. And generally, there are 3 things that dictate your income. One is knowledge. So always work on yourself. You're on Sherita's radio show because you're working on yourself.
Yes.
You know, it's like Les Brown said, the most important thing is to work on yourself.
Yes.
I mean, he says that wood chopper, who is the number 1 in all of the Northwest, has his sales slide 40% because he won't take time to sharpen his axe. You know, I mean, you've got to stay on your game and sharpen your blade. And so we keep you current all the time as the owner of a business. Then second, you've got to have a new trading community to get you more customers faster, and that's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And then third, you got to have mentors that make millions. You change 3 of your mentors, you'll change your income by triple. And you can't do it without them, and you can't afford them.
Right.
Mentors make millions, coaches do not. If you're a coach, you want to be a mentor that makes millions. You want to learn how to do that. And only mentors who make millions can bring you up. So come get your mentors, and you all can afford CO Space. And the result is you change your income and you change your life. You get a lot more freedom. You know, that's what we're about.
Right. And not only to mention the cities here locally to the LA area, but since I have listeners all over the world, you have people coming to CEO Space from more than 140 countries, and there's club presidents that hold their preview meetings all over the country. I was going to ask, is there a place at CEO Space on the cospace.net where they can go and see the club presidents, or anywhere on the online?
Yeah, they have the list of local chapters for you, and they have all the service agents that will help you everywhere in the world. So that's easy. And we stand for, we've been supporting George Fraser for years. His dream of helping 1 million young, minority, in-city, Black, Hispanic, Asians to have full partnership, to own a business, not work in one, to really go all the way in America. I mean, we stand behind that mission. We want to help him reach his million, and he's doing it. He's out there working. And, your next guest that's coming in, I mean, how special is it for Aubrey Stone to really unite? Because everything's about AC today, active community. What are you doing to create an active community? And she's got the Black Chamber Institute, basically, that is uniting small businesses so they can help each other. They can help each other, lift each other up. And, I mean, that is the ball game. Make active communities. It's all about AC today. Make those active communities.
Well, matter of fact, George just sent me a message. He's trying to call in too. Hopefully, I could have you both on at the same time. The George Frazier, when he came, didn't he speak at CEO Space a couple of forums
Yeah,
ago?
George Fraser is on faculty and a dear personal friend, but he's
Yes.
one of the leaders and the loudest voices that we are not done yet. There's so much to be done to create full partnership.
Uh-huh.
We can't have in these inner cities. I mean, we're spending $10 million an hour on foreign aid, an hour to Pakistan, to Afghanistan. And I think foreign aid starts in Watts. Foreign aid starts in Cleveland. Foreign aid starts in Detroit. Let's bring our communities back. Let's let our 50% minority youth unemployment start going to work in America. Let them have jobs, back them to get into business. We can afford it if we're spending $10 million an hour to help people overseas. We got to be able to help them, and that's getting our people back up to full partnership again.
Right. Bernie, when is the next forum?
It's June 22nd, and it's our family forum where we have free daycare service for young kids. We have a teen program. We subsidize the teens, and they all have better grades, stay in school, and they own a business later. And I mean, the highest percentages own a business later. And moms and dads come together, single parents bring their kids, and it's usually the biggest one of the entire year, and it's also got the best pricing. So if you're looking at CEO Space, you want to accelerate getting customers, you want to grow your business a lot faster, we give you a money-back guarantee. If we don't accelerate your business, we return your money before you leave the building. And Forbes doesn't say you can't afford to miss this. You cannot afford to miss this without a reason. So it's the real deal, folks. It's 25 years endorsed by the most famous folks. But you got to know somebody in it to become part of it, or you've got to have someone who is a member like Sherita share it on her radio show. That's how you learn. And it just helps people in community. It creates jobs and employment. It'll grow your business, and it's the easiest, fastest way to do it.
Well, I just in the past few years, I have met some of the adults that are attending our sessions that have been there since they were youth. I mean, that alone is amazing deliverables. When you have individuals that are staying involved with the forum and for year after year, that says a lot in itself. Because when you haven't lost those individuals, they're coming back for a reason.
When you see people all the time when you're there that are even before you that come in from 91, 93, 95. And it's almost like old home week, isn't it, when you meet them? Because you like to hear what it was like back in 95 when you came in 99.
Right,
and it's just when you pay once and have a lifetime membership, you come back forever 5 times a year, you almost cannot stop growing. I mean, you will grow your business faster, and you have more help than you ever had in your life, and it's the right help.
Bernie, if I can ask you to hold one moment. George is waiting to jump in with us. One moment, Bernie. Hi, George. Are you there?
I'm here.
I am so sorry you had some trouble getting in. How are you, darling?
I'm doing wonderful.
Good.
I was just listening to you and Bernie. Yes, it was great.
Yeah, he was giving you kudos. We were waiting on you to dial in, and I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm sorry you had a little trouble. George, I've got the just amazing George Frazier on from FrazierNet and the Power Networking. George, tell us a little bit about your organization.
Well, first of all, it's an honor to be on with such heavyweights, Aubrey Stone and Bernie Dorman. My God, no wonder my call couldn't get in. There was too much power on the phone, too much electricity, too much energy. The Power Networking Conference, or FrazierNet, is basically a global leadership network committed to economic development through education, training, and empowerment for people of African descent. There are 51,000 people in our network. We are almost 30 years old, but we have not been doing our conference nearly as long as Bernie has been doing his conference. This is our 13th year for the Power Networking Conference. This year it's in Dallas, Texas, June 25th through the 28th.
Okay.
And it's a place where our target market is fundamentally cultural minorities, people of African descent. We try to market it to black executives and mid-career professionals, sort of newly minted college grads, entrepreneurs, and young professionals. We characterize them as students.
George, can I just ask why? What is your website? Because I want to have it up while you're talking so that our listeners and viewers can
Sure.
see it.
It's powernetworkingconference.com, www.powernetworkingconference.com.
Great.
www.powernetworkingconference.com. So
Okay.
if people want to see what all of the programming for the conference is, over 60 workshops, plenary sessions, town hall meetings, and all those kinds of things, they can just go right to that website. And each day, both the daytime program and the after dark program, because we have two series of classes. We have during the day, and we have what we call Power Networking After Dark. So you have 10 workshops to select from during the day, and you have 8 workshops to select from between 9 and 11 o'clock at night after dinner.
Great.
So sort of day classes and night classes. And we found that's a model that really, really works for us. And actually, we got the inkling of that model working when Lisa Nichols, who's been coming to our conference for so many years, as she's been going to Bernie's conference so many years, started doing night classes. She was the first one at our conference to begin doing night classes, and they were packed. We said, "No, there's something to this."
Yeah.
And so we have expanded it. So as I was saying, it's targeted really to executives and mid-career professionals, where they can access sort of cutting-edge seminars and top-level professional development, and get sort of a unique, structured networking opportunities to build their professional contacts and face-to-face interaction with more than 60 top trainers and coaches in America. And for the newly minted college grads who really need some help these days, because going out there, graduating from college, does not necessarily automatically lead to a job. So we give them some, very powerful and unique and innovative continuing education and personal skills building sessions, so they can add to and build on their EQ, not just their IQ, and then access to literally hundreds of hiring small businesses that are looking to build a winning team and looking for people who have that kind of risk thinking and entrepreneurial thinking. And then there's a lot of free on-site coaching and counseling through our Black Coaching Network. So we do free coaching sessions, half-hour sessions, by appointment only at the conference.
Okay,
and
well,
of course,
I know your buddy Bernie is waiting to say something to you. Bernie, are you still there?
Nobody does what George does. Nobody. And so, George, what do you want the listener to do so they can support what you're doing as a movement like we support you? We talked about you quite a bit before you got on. And what do you want our listeners to do to support you?
That's a generous question,
isn't it? Yeah.
Bernie. You always ask those kind of generous questions, and you mean them from the heart. And you are an incredible model of the gospel in which I preach, which is you must give until it hurts, and then give until it feels good. And so I think what the listeners can do, what leadership can do, is to help us change some bad habits we have, particularly in the African American community. And that's one of the focuses, Bernie, that we're going to key on at the Power Networking Conference this year, is changing mindsets, which will lead to better habits. And so one of the habits we're asking our community to adapt and to internalize and to do sort of automatically is to be thoroughly excited about and engaged in personal growth and development, constant never-ending improvement, and lifelong learning. That's really, we have to do that like we get up in the morning. We have to have an insatiable appetite for personal growth and development. So all of the leaders out there listening who appeal to my particular audience is, if you can just continue to focus time, talent, and treasure on getting us to spend more of our annual income, more of our annual dollars on personal growth and development, conferences, workshops, conference, which you need to be going to your chambers conferences, you need to be going to Bernie's conference, you need to be going. Yeah, there's a number of places and spaces that really, really have you, the human being, the business person in mind, and really, really focus attention on that. I mean, personal attention, customer attention. And so we have to encourage our community that we've got to spend more of our annual income. I think 5 to 8% of your annual income should be reinvested back into personal growth and development, conferences, workshops, seminars, CDs, books, tapes, whatever you want to do.
Well,
so that's what they can do.
Well, George, Lisa and I both started at Bernie's conferences. Both of us were working locally, and Lisa is the one that ended up telling me about CEO Space. And I wanted to mention this because there are so many of us that go from one conference to another conference, and that is when Bernie mentioned earlier today about keeping it sharp, keeping yourself sharp, investing in you. There are so many people that feel that they don't need to attend these conferences. They think they've arrived. And what they don't realize is when you think you've arrived, you don't realize what you have missed. And there's a journey that we all should constantly be on, and it's about also self-development. And if Bernie could chime in, and I know that he's probably chomping at the bit, wanting to say something to what you just said. I'm sorry, but before you guys come on, we do have a caller on. Caller, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hi.
I'm here.
Thanks for holding. What city are you calling from?
I am calling from Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm calling for two specific reasons.
Yes.
First of all, Sherita, thank you for being on the network. This is Tina Michelle.
Hi.
So welcome to the RMC family.
Thank you.
I meant to call you last week. Thank you for being here.
Good. Thank you.
I love your show. I love everything you represent, and you happen to have my favorite people on the line, Mr. George Fraser, who I love dearly. Love dearly with all my heart. Hello, George. How are you?
He's holding on there. And are you there? Did I lose you?
I'm here.
Okay. And my dear, do you have a question?
Oh, my question is actually speaking to a specific point that they just mentioned about the conferences.
Mm-hmm.
The personal development aspect that you receive from going from conference to conference. The first time I went to when CEO Space is fabulous, and I love our Bernie and our Black Chamber is wonderful. And these enrichment programs are the only ways that you can fuel yourself to keep moving.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And being in community and being connected.
Right.
I know being the director there at RMC Cares, it's a big issue for us to continuously encourage people to do what George always says, is each one teach one.
Mm-hmm.
But when I hear this power on the phone, I'm giddy. I'm sitting here absolutely excited.
I know.
Because you see people who have preached the gospel of it, that are working together, supporting each other. It's amazing to me. So that was one thing. And the next question, of course, is what the websites are so that we can continue to support these conferences through the actual network.
Okay. Let's go. Let's jump to Bernie. Hi, Bernie. Give the website you'd like for them to go to.
Well, CEOspace.net, and they're videos that are short, and they'll knock your socks off, and there'll be a pay raise in your life.
Good. And then, George, where can they find you?
Yeah, they can find, and Bernie is right, CEO Space is probably the gold standard for information, training, networking in America. It really is. I think he's been at it the longest, 25 years he's been doing his conference. So it's incredible. Now, if people want to find out more about the Power Networking Conference, just simply go to www.powernetworkingconference.com. That's www.powernetworkingconference.com. And, the entire agenda for all 4 days, June 25th through the 26th and 28th is there. My only sadness is that, unfortunately, this year we conflict with CEO Space because Bernie was to be at the Power Networking Conference and I was to be at CEO Space, but we both have leadership responsibilities, and so we conflict and we bump heads because our conferences are the same week.
Yes.
But also I would be at CEO Space.
And I just also want to say, Aubrey Stone, he's probably having a little trouble coming on because he was going to step out of a meeting to be on this call. But his website is www.calbcc.org. That's calbcc.org for the California Black Chamber Foundation. Let me get back to
yes. Sherita, just quickly, at 3:30, I'm going to stay in the call. I'm going to step out of my office here, take a call from my sponsor. I have one of my sponsors that's calling me. I have to answer a question, then I'll come back into the call.
I just feel special that you're hanging with me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And what I was going to say, how we follow conferences. Like I said, Lisa and I started there. And then, George, that's how I was introduced to you. And I ended up speaking on a panel back when you were still in Cleveland. And Les and I were speaking at that panel, and I was on with Jewel Diamond Taylor and a few of us on one of your panels. So it's kind of like, we follow these communities because it's healthy for us, and it keeps us sharp, but we continue to meet amazing people. And just to be within both of you, to be in your company and to know that we are part of your network, it literally changed my life. And that's why this is my second show here at RMC, and I felt like it was appropriate to have the three of you on. Let me get back if our caller is still there and tell her thank you for calling in. Michelle, you still there?
Yes, it's Tina Michelle.
Thank you, Tina Michelle.
I would love to connect with you more for the Tina Speaks show.
Yeah,
and
okay.
George knows me as Tina Borsico. I met him through Veronica Conway, also in Cleveland.
Okay.
And then went to Georgia with him and worked his conference. I know what these conferences are about. There's a lot of work, a lot of commitment to education, a lot of commitment to outcomes.
Yes.
So please do send us whatever information that we need to have to support these conferences at a network level.
Yes, well, and thank you, lady. And I look forward to us doing some things together. Thanks for calling in from Phoenix.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. Bernie, I was going to come to you. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. I got caught up and forgot the last question I asked, but I think I wanted you to respond to some of what George was saying.
Well, I love his format of the night conference because that's when you're available and you're off work and you can network and learn. And keep in your mind your income is three things. It's your knowledge and skill set you constantly invest to improve. Constantly invest to improve you, and your earnings go up. 2, enlarge your trading community. CO Space on the West Coast and George on the East give you large trading communities, boost a new trading community.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3, change your mentors. Get mentors you can't afford. George hosts with the best mentors in the world, and so do we, to help you get mentorship one-on-one, privately, not on stage, but intimately. Roll your sleeves up and work with your agenda. That's when you hit your financial ball over the tennis net. You get a volley going, and you start to have deposits that you always knew were there. And I always ask people, how many people know some smart people that are just absolutely broke? And how many people know some idiots that are really successful? And what's the difference? And I can tell you, do not have to wait. You can get the dreams and success you want. And here's the master key to it all. Mm-hmm. Spend your life. Your life is like a river, and it's going to run out of water one day. Spend your life as your water is flowing to have your genius, whatever you love doing, reach more people, help more people. Focus that you're serving them, you're helping them, you're doing something of value for them, and you just want greater numbers to get it. Mm-hmm. And make that your mission, and your co-mission, your income, your co-mission, will follow your mission. It'll be a consequence.
Gentlemen.
And so that's the real law of attraction.
Okay, gentlemen, I've got to take a station break. We'll be right back with you.
Hey, are you tired of those same old energy drinks with bad taste? Make a switch to Pitbull Energy Drink with a guaranteed no aftertaste. Pitbull offers more energy with ginseng and vitamins B6 and B12. With a ginger ale lemon lime flavor, Pitbull meets the consumer's demand for better tasting and healthier energy products with a guaranteed no aftertaste. Make a switch to Pitbull Energy Drink. Pitbull offers more energy with ginseng and vitamins vitamins B6 and B12. With a ginger ale lemon lime flavor, Pit Bull meets the consumer's demand for better tasting and healthier energy products. For more information on Pit Bull energy drinks, bars, and mixes, visit their website at hiphopbev.com. That's hiphopbev.com. Online orders available at hiphopbev.com.
Okay, and we're back, and we are with the amazing Bernie Dorman and George Frazier. And gentlemen, let's see, Bernie was in the middle of a conversation, so Bernie, I'm going to come back to you.
Well, I think both George and I believe that we teach you to come from your spiritual inside-out essence. So why does Think and Grow Rich not be Think and Be Rich? Why do so many not get the new car and still have the divorce, the old tennis shoes?
Yes.
And so we have to focus. We're not trying to do our lives for money.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to do our lives to serve more people where money is a natural consequence.
Mm-hmm.
And once you set a better plan, a better team, and get the resources to go all the way, it's like a slingshot. If you get to the bullseye if you pull it back first.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to get back from being under the box, trying to get to your goal, and the box, while we're looking at it, is wiggle-waggling all over the place.
Right.
We want to make a straight line by working on the box, not have you under the box. We call that Busyville.
Okay.
And a lot of you are trapped in Busyville.
I'm going to give our call-in number. It's 323-965-1600. That's 323-965-1600. George, I'm going to give you a chance to chime in. Are you there? George is probably off with his sponsor. So, Bernie, I'm going to come back to you. Bernie,
Good.
the other thing I wanted to talk about, well, first, where are you calling in from?
I'm calling from our home office in Tarpon Springs, Florida, where it's just wonderful to be in the green palm trees and the gentle breeze of the Tampa Bay marketplace.
What's the weather today? Because it's kind of cool here in Los Angeles.
Well, we're getting chilled down. It's probably 75 here, but it'll be 85 tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Okay. We have a caller on. Let's take our first caller. Caller, are you there?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Where are you calling from, caller?
I'm calling from Kansas City, Missouri.
This sounds like someone familiar. This is my sister. It's so wonderful to have support, even from family. Hi, this is Chris from Kansas City. Chris, do you have a question for our powerful guest? Yes? No? Or are you just calling in because you're proud of your sister?
I'm calling in because I am so proud of my sister.
And you are still fighting your cold.
But I am, girl, you better stop. You're going to make me cry.
I know. Don't start. Don't make me cry on my show and mess up my makeup. Thank you so much for supporting, Mona. I love you dearly.
Yes. But I did want to comment. It is so true what they say about continuing to learn and self-improve. As you know, what we do at the Family Foundation is training and workshops of several magnitudes.
Yes.
And one thing I continuously find is exactly what your guests have said. And one comment you made, Sherita, was that people think they have arrived and they don't need to learn and continue to grow. But that is the greatest mistake ever. As you know, I work with business owners every day and try to encourage them to educate yourself, continue to grow. And if you can't attend the workshops, send your staff.
Yes.
And so that it's improvement and continuous training all the way around to make you a better business owner, business person, or better in your gift and your craft.
Yes.
So I am excited to hear your speakers today. I actually know Mr. Frazier, who I've attended many of his speaking engagements when I was affiliated with the National Minority Supplier Development Council.
Yes.
So it is good to see his face and hear his voice. And if ever I'm in the area, Sherita, and have an opportunity, I certainly want to attend CEO Space because I know that you have been participating for many years now. And every time we engage in conversation, you have so much to share, and your enthusiasm and energy is contagious. So
Well,
again, I want to say congratulations. I'm enjoying the show. Should be eating lunch right now, but I couldn't help but listen in. Keep
well,
up the
I've
good
got to
work. I
say
love you.
I've got to say I love you, and you guys. My big sister is who I patterned myself after. I actually, in the 7th grade, wrote. I get emotional. I wrote an essay about who I wanted to be the most like, and it was my big sister. And so, for you to call in today for my second show, my sister, she's humble in so many ways. She's won Woman of the Year. She has received just accolades from all over the world, and I'm so happy that you took your lunchtime to call in to your little sister's show. So thank you.
And
Thank
Sherita,
you so
should
much.
see me. I've got tears flowing. If my manager were to walk around the corner, she'd think I was crazy.
Thank you, Moan, so much. I love you dearly, hon.
Love you too. We'll talk
Okay.
later.
All right. Bye. Okay. Caller. Let's see. Did I lose you? Caller, are you there?
No, I'm here.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. What city are you calling from?
Upland, California.
Well, thank you for calling in. Do you have a question for one of our esteemed guests?
Actually, I did. They were making a comment. I'm not sure which gentleman was about. There's a distinction between people that are doing well and then people that they're smart and they're not as successful, and those that are less smart are successful. But I didn't hear the clear distinction, and I wanted them to elaborate on that a little bit more.
Okay. I think it was George that said that. Let's see. George, was it you that made that statement? Are you back with us? Well, George is still with his sponsor. Let's go to Bernie. Bernie, are you there?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay, good.
Well, let me make sure I zero in. What is the exact, item that you want to get that answer to?
Let's get to our caller. Caller, what's the exact answer you would like?
The answer was, what
to-
was the distinction? A comment was made about sometimes people are smart and they're not as successful. Then those that seem to be less smart are more successful. What was the distinction and why one was?
Okay, Bernie.
What happens is this: almost everybody's working on an income plan, how to get secure financially, have your mortgage paid down, have a second home in Mammoth, and be okay with savings for retirement. And that's a 97% failure. It takes 72 hours, roughly, with experts to make a really good plan that's an income plan. If you make a wealth plan, a wealth plan is how you're going to operate the next 3 to 5 years so you could resell whatever you're doing and make a lot of money from the resale. And you build differently. It's just a different plan. It takes the same 72 minutes. But working on a wealth plan versus an income plan, they should teach that in high school because, folks, that's the ball game.
Oh, okay.
And that's why a person that's an idiot gets to be wealthy, because they're working on a wealth plan, not an income plan.
Okay. Caller, did that
Yeah.
cover it for you?
Yes, thank you so much, Rita.
Good. Thank you for calling in.
You're
Again,
welcome.
our call-in number is 323-965-1600. That's 323-965-1600. I have the esteemed Bernie Dorman from CEO Space and George Frazier from FrazierNet and the Power Networking Conference. Bernie, I'm back at you.
Well, they don't know, too, that when they're in charity space or they're developing charities, you are the number one authority that we can find in the entire country. We have you not only teach at CO Space, but you've helped more. I can't count the tens of millions of dollars that you brought in to important charities all over the country, small, mid, large, and help them do their good works.
Great,
And if
thank you.
anyone is in charity space out there, because you'll never say it, and you need to have them contact you so you can guide them with your teams, because you are the fastest arrow to the bullseye of what those charities want to do to grow. So if you know someone that's head of a charity, get them to call Sherita Herring. And boy, does CO Space and Bernie Dorman endorse this message.
Well, thank you, Bernie. I just got an email yesterday from a CEO Space grad, and we prepared the documents for him to submit for his exemption. We broke our record. We got his tax exemption with the IRS in 14 business days. They don't
realize attorneys take 3 years to do that oftentimes with 2 rejections.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, you're getting this done. I remember when you did a grant, I'm not going to name the company, but you did a grant application and got an approval and a $500,000 funding in 90 days. And I want to tell you, when you move down the charity rail, that is so fast that you're talking about burning the rail up. I mean, that is bullet train. And I'm saying, I don't know anybody in the world that has done what you do. You break that record, you got to phone me.
Okay. Well, we're working on that now. I've just started on a project yesterday here with RMZ, and we're excited about that.
What excites you about helping these charities? What makes you, having done this for more than a decade and being an expert in it, what makes you just Twitter, where you are thanking God and giving praise because of what your life gets to do for others?
Well, the fact is that I get to help people operate in their passions. I literally help people find profit for their passions and where they can do what they love until they're dirt again. I mean, there's nothing better than doing what you love every single day.
Yeah,
and
but you're
impacts
helping
lives.
a church or someone that's helping the homeless, or you're helping, you take these charities where they don't know what to do as the next step, and you make just game changers for their strategy,
And the wonderful thing about it, Bernie, and thank you for asking, is that one day I may be working with someone working with those that feel the lowest of the low in Skid Row, and tomorrow I'll probably be working with the UN, an ambassador from the UN. So my career takes me across I span the world and industries, and it just is exciting for me. From even working with musicians, from Bootsy Collins to even witnessing what's going on with Bon Jovi and what he does in his community, to, again, individuals that are feeding the homeless. So when you're talking about charity and working with causes, it crosses all industries and professions. So that's exciting in itself. And now let's check and see if George is back from his sponsor. George, are you there? That sponsor's holding on to him. So, Bernie, now you were just getting ready to say something.
Well, I'm saying I like to see families come together. When I see families come to a business conference, that's pretty uncommon. And we're not seminars, where you sit and you get lectured to.
Right.
That's not going to help you. You need one-on-one. You need to see with Sherita in the lobby and have her help you. You need to see her the next day by the pool. And when you have your kids there and they're in the swimming pools or they're in the teen class and families are going through this together, spouses support each other differently. Spouse support is important. Mm-hmm. You have new teams, new partnerships. You watch your kids support you because they understand what you're doing differently. Because we have the best entrepreneur teen program in the world. And I love to see the June program when all these families come together all at the same time and help each other in business. Everybody will be each other's customers. We do so much business. You get your customers right there. Checks get written right there. You get orders for your products right there, for your service right there. And I don't care if you're a public speaker, a technology person, or you're in aerospace, or you say, well, I'm too big for CEO space. Well, I don't know. If you were doing a $500 million resort in Panama and we helped you, is that too big?
Yes, because
we do it. I mean, you've watched it, Sherita. We do the biggest things in the country, and we do a single mom starting a charity in her apartment.
Matter of fact, one of your CEO Space grads is doing a resort in Belize, and there's just so many individuals. And what you were saying about family. Now, this is what is so unique about CEO Space. Like you said, we take our vacation time and come to CEO Space, and families there. I'm there approximately 53 days out of the year when we go, because we want to make sure that we're there for that full week. And when families can be there during the time when their kids are either on spring break or Christmas break, it is truly like a family reunion coming there. And that's one of the things that's exciting, because CEO Space is my extended family. And when I miss a forum, I mean, even when I'm there, you've seen it, I'm running around and I'm trying to get pictures of everyone there, because those that aren't there, they're waiting to see who is there. And if I haven't posted pictures yet, they're saying, Sherita, are you at CEO Space? Who's there? They want to know. They want to tag photos. And so it is more than just a business forum. It is a family forum. It is a place, being from Kansas, sometimes I tease because I'll click my heels together when I'm there and I say there's no place like home. There's no place like home. And that's what I feel about CEO Space. When I miss it, I have missed family. Not only have I missed business opportunities and mentors, those individuals that I am mentored by, the only time that I'm mentored face-to-face by them is at CEO Space, but I miss those family members.
Well, you and I know, too. You and I are there, and our businesses, as big as they are, and worldwide in my case, I need mentorship to go to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
I just engaged Paul Limburg in San Diego to help me. I'm working with, my board that you know so well, David Corbin, and people that really have resumes
Mm-hmm.
to help me grow.
Uh-huh.
Superstars like Greg Reed, who wrote Stickability. It's out right now, Stickability, 3 Feet from Gold, New York Times bestseller. He was coaching me yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying you and I go, and not only are we teaching, but we're getting our mentors. We're
Right.
getting our problems solved every 60 days.
Right.
We're in a super change market. Everything's changing so fast now. It's changing faster than it ever changed in the history of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to remain current. In other words, whatever you do in June with us, that will take you through the summer.
Yes.
Now, toward the end of the summer, you need another one to get current for the fall, then another one to get current for the new year. We can't stay current because everything's changing so fast. And we have to be able, here's another secret, get your customers where they are today. You've got to get in mobile space in a better way.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to have an app for your product or service. We live in an app world. You've got to have that.
Yes.
You've got to be able to deliver an iPad experience, a Google Glass experience. You can't back away, fail to adjust. You've got to get mobile, stay mobile, and bleeding edge lead mobile. You've got to get your company in where the customer may be on a golf course. They may be at a Starbucks restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
They may be in an office like your sister. They may be where George is talking to a sponsor and coming back on a radio show.
Right.
In today's world, boy, you push a button and it's halfway around the world in a heartbeat. And I'm saying, so you're global, online immediately,
Uh-huh.
and you've got to start thinking international language, culture, whenever you do anything. And believe me, the world is your customer base, and there is no limit or ceiling, not on your dream.
Right.
The most important thing in your life is your dreams, and this show, if nothing else, when you get off today, recommit, get committed to do your dreams, and you'll have no regrets at the end of your life.
And what's truly amazing, Bernie, is that I am living so much of my dreams now, more than I ever even thought I could have. I was speaking just the other day in Sacramento at Aubrey Stone's event with the California Black Chamber Foundation. And when I was speaking to that group, I said, if you're not in your passion right now, and it's not that I want someone to go in and turn in their pink slip, but what I encourage people to do is, even if it's the weekend, start walking in the steps of your dream. What is your passion? Because if more people were operating in their passion, just like if we could get more and more people at these conferences, we would start reducing stress, domestic violence, child abuse, substance abuse, because when people are in their passions, when they are being mentored by individuals that can take them to the levels that they need to go, all of these things that are unhealthy that happen in our lives, those things will go by the wayside. And I truly, truly believe that, because I have experienced it myself. Let's see if George is back with from his sponsor.
I'm
George?
back.
Oh, good,
I'm
good,
back.
good. Okay.
I'm back. Oh yeah, this is a fascinating conversation. Bernie just hit the nail right on the head, and I just want to bend that nail over a little bit.
Okay.
Bend it over a little bit. And Bernie's right. The world is changing, and anybody living in a garage or living in an apartment can do what you do. So everybody has to ramp up their game.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has to be engaged in personal growth and development, lifelong learning, and constant, never-ending improvement.
Yes.
Because today, different than when our parents grew up, today you will live one notch below wherever you are.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see, it used to be if you were average, you could live an average life. No. Today, if you're average, you're going to live a poor life. You're going to have poor friends. You're going to live poor surroundings. You're going to have poor income. If you're good, you can live an average life. If you're excellent, you'll live a good life. And if you're amazing, you'll live an excellent life. You will live one notch below wherever you are. So you have to choose. You have to decide. If you're going to be amazing, you have to engage with amazing people, because everything is a system. If you want to earn $300,000 a year, you have to hang out with people who are earning $300,000 a year,
Right.
because there's a system for doing that.
Yes.
If you're only earning $75,000 a year, you have a system only to earn $75,000 a year. So you have to change your associations.
Yes.
You have to change your affiliations. You have to change the places in which you have access to the kind of people that can drag you into the 21st century kicking, screaming, and crying, okay?
Right.
So this is a system. Everything is about a system. And so that's why you have to have three kinds of networks: a personal network, an operational network, and a strategic network. And a strategic network are people who are where you want to be, people who will drag you into the 21st century kicking, screaming, and crying, people who could be your coaches and your mentors. And you find those people at a CEO space. You find those people at a Black Chamber conference. You find those people at the Power Networking Conference. These are the people that are leading the classes, that are heading up the classes, who are teaching and training and committed to coaching and mentoring. So you have to be in the space. The number one opportunity that we have to focus on if we want to grow is access and proximity. Access and proximity.
Yes.
Access to the best and brightest minds like you, Sherita. You're at the CEO Space Conference. You'll be at the Power Network. Access to a Sherita Herring. Access to a Bernie Dorman and all the people that Bernie brings in.
Yes.
And then proximity. You want to be in an environment of people that want what you want, that think like you think, that share a common vision. That's the environment. That's the kind of stew that you want to be a part of. That's what you'll find at CEO Space. It's what you'll find at the Power Networking Conference. You know, not everybody in the world comes to CEO Space or the Power Networking Conference or a Black Chamber event, right? Only selected people who see it the way Bernie sees it the way I see it the way Aubrey sees it. So
Yes.
I just wanted to bend the nail over on that head that Bernie so eloquently, and passionately drove into this piece of wood.
Yes. Well,
we have here.
Well, one of the things I want to say before we go back to Bernie is, anytime you find yourself that you are the top one on the totem pole, the top person, it's time to replenish your group, and that's what
If
continuously
you're the smartest
happens.
person in your network, you're in the wrong damn network.
Yes, and when you continuously go back to these conferences, you're constantly broadening your group. You don't want to be top head honcho in your group. You want those individuals that can keep pouring into you the knowledge and even the additional mentoring that you receive from those individuals. And that's, again, what I get every time when I attend one of these conferences or talk to one of you. And this is why I'm encouraging individuals, even the nonprofits that I work with, many of them do not attend these conferences. And what you will find when you attend these conferences is that it's not only individuals that are just in your field. You are now in touch with some of the top minds across the world from all fields. And so you get to rub elbows, and which means that whatever knowledge they have, it's pouring into you. And that's why, again, I'm so thankful to have you guys on the show today. Bernie, let's hear what you've got to say to that.
I want to ask George a question. I want to ask George, what do we do with these dreamers that are geniuses at any age, but especially young minorities, who feel they don't have the mental equipment, they don't have the connection grid, they don't have the resources, they don't have all these things that they make a list of in their own mind, and you and I want them to push the eject button and see that DVD come out of their forehead and break it apart on a wall and give them the right DVD that they're princes and queens of the kingdom of God, and they can do anything. What do you do to change that mindset, George?
I think personally, what I have done is there are communities that I go into, identify these geniuses, these inherent geniuses, and I extract them from their environment. Now, I can't do it with everyone, But if I just, if it's the old starfish story, if I could just save one, if I could save one a month, one a year, I will have done something. And if each one could reach one and teach one, as I say all the time, if each one could take full responsibility for saving one child other than your own, we're assuming that you are doing right by your own children.
Mm-hmm.
So take responsibility. And oftentimes we literally have to extract them out of their environment. There's a study that came out last year that said that it is better for a child to grow up in a great neighborhood with crazy parents than a bad neighborhood with brilliant parents. What does that tell you? Their environment, the people around them, right? And sometimes we just have to extract them, isolate them, give them the wraparound support that they need, isolate them from that environment, and then work on their minds, because they're not born that way. They learn it, and they learn it from their environment. And oftentimes I say, wherever you find a knucklehead child, you could probably find a knucklehead parent. So I think it's parachuting in an environment where you are committed to extraction.
Well, gentlemen, I'm just going to mention this really quick, because many of my listeners, they're always wondering, where's the grants for that? They always hear me say there's a grant for that. And I just want to mention the Aegon Trans America Foundation, and they fund for the business industry. They fund business industry, and they will give dollars for all across the country, from Petersburg, Florida, to Cedar Rapids, Iowa, to Kentucky, Baltimore, Maryland, Los Angeles, California. And again, they fund for business industry and leadership development. And the types of support that they give are for general operating. That means paying salaries and anything else that it takes to run the organization, program development. And for anyone that may want to see this organization, their website is www.transamerica.com. That's www.transamerica.com. And they can look at the link that takes them to the foundation so that they can see more about this organization. So, George, you just finished speaking. Let's see. Do we have a caller? Is there a caller on hold for us? Let's see. Caller, are you there?
Kentucky, Baltimore, Maryland.
Caller? Caller, are you there?
And leadership
Turn your radio down.
The types of support that they give are for general
Caller?
operating means paying salary. Hello?
Hi, caller. How are you? What city are you calling from?
I'm calling from Marietta.
Oh, good, good. Well, how are you?
I'm just fine.
Do you have a question for one of our callers?
For
one of our guests. I'm sorry.
I wanted to actually thank all of the people on the panel. I got a lot of confirmation today from them. So I'm just thanking them all for the confirmation, and I'm going to continue to just keep pushing forward in what I'm doing.
Good, good, good. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for calling in. This is
Jean Norris from Marietta, California.
Well, hello, Jean. And she is also a CEO Space grad. And we are going to get this individual to also visit Mr. Frazier, and also going into the Black Chambers events, because we've got to make those rounds. Right, Jean?
That's correct. And I'm ready to, get the feet wet and hands wet and save one and teach one.
Okay. Jean, thank you so much for calling in.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's go over to Mr. Dorman.
Well, I think when you're plowing ahead and you're thinking about plowing ahead, you look at sequence. Almost all of you are doing everything when you do your dreams and entrepreneurial. I want to own a business, not work in one. You always make more money if you own a business rather than work in one.
Yes.
And you do more for community. But start thinking, is it the right sequence? Get mentors to help re-sequence you.
Good.
If you just do all the things in the right sequence, everything goes just like you wanted, and you shrink time and money to get your goals done. If you're doing it in the wrong sequence, it doesn't matter that you knew a lot from school about how to push the buttons on the plane. As you go down the runway, when you push them in the wrong sequence, that heavy thing that will always soar crashes.
Yes.
You want to soar. You'll soar if you do it in the right sequence. You do it in the wrong sequence, like the plane, you'll crash.
Well, Bernie, we're getting to the close of the hour, and I want to thank you so much for being on. Give your website and contact info that you'd like for our listeners to have.
You'll get a pay raise if you click or send to somebody you know ceospace.net, and look at a video and share it with others. And you'll give a blessing in your life to yourself and someone else that you love and want their future to be as bright as yours is going to be.
Outstanding. Bernie, thank you for being on. Love you dearly. Mr. George Frazier, are you there?
I am here.
Can you give some last-minute thoughts and your contact information for our listening audience?
Yeah, for those who are interested in joining us at the Power Networking Conference June 25th through the 28th in Dallas, Texas, and take your career to a whole nother level and meet some very, very, very powerful and important people and get the kind of training and coaching that you need, please just go right to our website, www.powernetworkingconference.com, powernetworkingconference.com, and know that you should be going to the Power Networking Conference. You should also be going to CEO Space. You just have to determine the right sequence.
All right, sir. Thank you again for being on, and I'm looking forward to seeing you. Have a great day. And to my listening audience and viewers, this is Sherita J with the Power Lunch with Sherita J. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. This has been an absolutely amazing show. For those of you that are interested in receiving grants, go to our website at kifoundation.org. That's kifoundation.org. There's a tab that says free grant info. Make sure you get on there because you'll also keep up with all the other things that's going on with me and my organization. I want to thank my esteemed guests, Bernie Dorman from CEO Space and Mr. George Frazier from the Power Networking Conference. Again, this is Sherita J coming to you. Tune in next Thursday, and we'll have a powerful lunch with some powerful guests. I'm glad that you were with us today. Have a great week.
We are one community. That's the way it's supposed to be. Excellence and perfection is our choice. The Spirit guides our destiny as we let our minds be free. Open up your heart and lift our voice. You are your only limitations. Yeah, break free, do what you can do. It takes a little work, it takes dedication. Don't ever stop, nothing's holding you. The past was meant to make us stronger. Morning joys will last much longer. Persevere, keep moving, just hang on in there. Keep reaching out for one another. Yes, be there to lift your brother. Pressing forward, showing that you care. Oh, you are your only limitation. Yeah, and you are. Break free, do what you can do. It takes a little work, it takes dedication.